I'm the youngest of 6 children, and of which there were 4 boys and 2 girls. And neither one of my parents had cancer. And in fact, in the small town I'm from, town of about 150 people, just cancer was kind of unknown. We never even heard about it when I was little. And then later on, my oldest sister came down with breast cancer, and she still had a relatively young family. And where she was living at the time, I mean, there was no early screening or anything like that. And she was the first to pass away from breast cancer. My other sister, of course, we were all at the funeral, my other sister's there, not even knowing that she too at that time also had breast cancer. She got diagnosed a little bit later. Within a year and a half of my first sister's death, my second sister died of breast cancer. My next oldest brother came down with thyroid cancer, which usually is a cancer that's very treatable, but it had already metastasized, and then he succumbed to that and died of thyroid cancer. And then my oldest brother, who had been disabled all his life, he'd been deaf, came down with prostate cancer, and it too had metastasized. And so he passed away of a combination of prostate cancer and just the problems with it metastasizing. And so out of 4 kids, 4 of my siblings have died of cancer, and there's only 2 of us left. There are several aspects of being a cancer survivor that I have become aware of and have worked with over the years. First was discrimination. I mean, I can remember when people talked about cancer as being a communicable disease, that they thought, oh my gosh, I can't work near you because I could get cancer from you. I'm the author of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And when we wrote that bill and got that bill through, we even envisioned and put in the language in there discrimination against those who might have something like cancer, and people who discriminate against people with cancer. One of the most famous Supreme Court cases dealt with a woman who had had breast cancer and had sued because she had been fired from her job. So we still confront that today. After my 2 sisters died of breast cancer, I became involved in the whole movement on breast cancer. And when my other brother got thyroid cancer, I thought, what's going on here? And that's about the time I came to the Senate and got on the Appropriations Committee that funds the National Institute of Health and the National Cancer Institute. So I began to really focus a lot of my attention on research and to get more money. And I was, in the beginning, I was the first one to chair the committee that funded the Human Genome Project, because I think there's some genetic things, there's some genes that we have to look at in terms of cancer. It got me to the point where I have dedicated most of my Senate career to fighting not only cancer, other illnesses, but really focusing on cancer and getting the kind of money for research that we need.